Hola, mi gente, ¿cómo están? Alida Hernández.
JC Colón, ya tú sabes, aquí en el episodio número 24.
24th, guys, 24 at Spanglish Cafe Show.
And we keep on going, we keep on going. We got some interesting, very interesting artists coming in today into the show. People que tienen trayectoria de muchos años, trabajan con diferentes artistas. Los dos son productores.
Grammy winners.
We got Grammy winners in the house. And we got music arrangers, gente que escribe música. La diferencia entre compositor y arreglista. Arreglista que hace la música, compositor el que te hace la letra. So we have on our show today Mike Rivera,
A professor.
the professor. Okay, the guy is full of surprises, and a lot of people that follow us know who Mike the Professor is. A lot of the musicians down in Miami and nationwide. Okay, we say. And we also have who else?
Richard Bravo, incredible percussionist. Oh my goodness. He plays with Juanes. He's touring right now with Juanes. He's like, I saw somewhere he won like 40 Grammys. I don't know. He has like 100 certificates.
I think he
Grammys.
had like 30, I think it was 30 certificates.
Well, he just won 2 Grammys at this year's Latin Grammys in Sevilla, Spain. And I am so sad that I didn't go this year. But we'll go one of these days. Just to go to Sevilla, though. And he also played with Barry Gibb. Oh, my gosh. A legend. So he's a legend. Incredible person, great humble person. You'll meet him later. He's in the studio right now, so he'll be on as soon as he finishes rehearsals with Juanes. So look at that,
Okay, so we're gonna go. We're gonna plug in live, not for the rehearsal, but he's at rehearsal right now. He'll be with us after the rehearsal, which will be soon.
Right.
But let's talk about a little bit before we bring in Mike Rivera. Let's talk about Mike Rivera. I mean, this guy has a long track. A long history of music. So we want to talk about Mike. We're gonna bring him in right now. So.
Okay.
Hello. Aquí estamos con Mike Rivera. The professor.
Yeah, special effects now. All right.
Well, anyway. Mike, first of all, thank you for being on the show on Spanglish, episode number 24. Thank you for joining us. I know that you just I know you're practically coming out of the 95 right through the door in your house, because you're always busy.
Basically, yeah.
So we appreciate that you're taking the time, to come for the second time. Remember that you was the one that opened up with the first Spanglish show cafe ever. So you was on the first episode. So we're happy to bring you back now. After 24 episodes, we're bringing you back.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I was surprised you called me back. I didn't think you guys were ever going to speak to me. I thought that was it.
Yeah, right.
No, you did a great show. As a matter of fact, we were watching it not too long ago.
We had a lot of people on that. A lot of hits.
We did great, and it was different, right? The scenario was different because it was all three together in the studio.
Right. And we were still like newbies.
Well, it's the beginning.
It was the first show.
The first episode.
We weren't sure, and now we got a little more comfortable, and we're just ourselves, right?
So you see now all the the backgrounds now, and everything is different. So we're progressing.
So what you been up to, Mike?
Well, right now I'm got a bunch of things going on. Getting ready to gearing up for the new semester over at the Center for Cinematography, Arts, and Television, where I teach the music course and the audio curriculum over there. I've been doing that for 12 years now, working on a new track for this gentleman that we know. He's kind of sitting next to you.
I don't know who that is.
And just recently, a friend of mine and a person who's very well known among the musicians in Miami, percussionist named Julio Acosta, passed away after a very, very long, arduous battle with cancer. So this is just like a few days ago. So everybody's been trying to get a hold of his family and pay the respects. And we're in the process of producing a song as a musical tribute for Julio. It's an original track of a standard called Chambelón. And
Chambelón.
Chambelón.
yeah,
What does that mean? Like, just say chambelón.
Chambelón is kind of like
Sorry.
the sly, friendly guy, always talking to the ladies, always playing it cool at the parties. You know
Ah,
you
the
know
suave guy.
Chambelón.
The suave.
the
Look, it
suave
sounds like
guy.
soy
Yeah.
Pico
campeón.
suave.
Anybody who knows Julio knows he always thought of himself that way. But Julio, he had a very long trajectory in music. He played in Tito Allen's band for close to a decade in New York, and he also played in numerous merengue bands in New York. He had an orchestra called the Deja Vu Orchestra, which was originally based in Amsterdam because he lived in Amsterdam for a while. And so, and then he moved back to the United States from Amsterdam and rebuilt the band here, and which I was lucky to participate in that particular group for a number of years. And we just basically played all over South and Central Florida with Deja Vu. That was led by him and his brother Eddie Acosta, who Eddie's also a percussionist. And
Yeah, I had the pleasure to meet him a few times, and very humble guy. When I met him the first time, he didn't care who I was. He was like so happy and talking to me about music, and he was even giving me lessons right away without even meeting me. So see, that's how
Julio?
humble he was. Yeah, Julio. Yeah,
yeah,
very humble guy.
kind of a guy he was. Yeah, and all summer long, he was playing around town. He was playing in a couple of rumba groups, and he was playing at the monthly pool party that's that's sponsored by Kimberly and Janet.
Mm.
I forgot what the name of
Well,
their.
I think the sunset, the rooftop.
Yeah,
The rooftop. Yeah, he was always there every Sunday. I think it was once a month. They do it
yeah,
once
one
a month.
Sunday a month. Yeah, so they were doing a percussion thing over there, and he was doing that, and we kind of were seeing each other every now and then, working on some things because he was also a composer, and he was writing a couple of new songs that unfortunately now he's not going to get to finish. So, like I said, we're working on this musical tribute for him. Should be done probably in about a week or so. His brother's got to record the bongo, and I forgot who's singing. Oh, yeah, gentleman named Yanko Tortola is going to be singing the vocals. So that it's a fun project, and I was very, very happy to participate on bass, and and work with him on developing the whole thing.
I believe the first time I met Julio, it was through Luis Jibarito. They were always together.
Right.
The
Yeah. Well, he
parties,
was
they
what
used to be in
they
the
used to
parks.
do. They used to play in a rumba group about 10 years ago together. But I mean, Jibarito and Julio go back a long way, playing with different rumba ensembles throughout the city.
Wow.
So that they
All
have
here in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Almost since Julio got back from Europe, right in the beginning of like maybe 2002, 2003.
About
They were
20
already
years.
working together in a few different rumba groups.
Wow.
Wow.
20 years go by like
I
that.
know.
But our birthdays are coming up. Mine's sooner, right? My next month, couple of weeks, and I'm like, where does the time go?
You know,
You know,
Julio also, a lot of people, few people knew. I knew about it because he used to post it all the time in his page. He was also great at doing jewelry. He used to do congas with jewelry.
oh, he used to do a lot of
Different instruments,
jewelry.
comoro, plata,
Oh,
and
yeah?
he used to
Yeah.
design it.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
besides the music, he was also talented with that. So
So
tell us a little bit more about you, Mike. I mean, let the public know who you work with, like in your past experiences. Like,
uh,
I know at one time he was producing with Sergio. So tell us a
yes,
little bit about
I
those
worked
days.
with Sergio for quite a few years, almost 9 years. Almost 9 years. the whole time that I lived in New York, I was working with Sergio. And then we relocated to Florida because he relocated to start a new label venture with George Zamora called SGZ Records. And then we continued working together on that particular label for about another year or so. But I worked with Sergio, managing his publishing catalog and also doing A&R work for Sir George Records, which was his original label in New York.
When you was with Sergio, was Ralphie, you guys together were like Ralphie Mercado around? Like,
No,
was it
well,
all connected?
I met Sergio during the RMM days because I used to do work independently for RMM. I produced a couple of records for a Mexican artist named Jesus Enriquez that was signed to RMM. He did 2 albums, and I also used to do work for Ralph as a production consultant on live events. I produced a number of concerts for him and a couple of major festivals, one in Randall's Island, and the other festival was in Harris Park in the Bronx, which was an experience. I don't know if you remember Harris Park, JC. So,
Well,
tough place to do a festival.
I know. That's like, like almost every place in New York. New York is New York.
But
You gotta be tough to grow up in New York and in Chicago, like cities like that.
But as far as artists, I've worked with a lot of salsa artists. Obviously, from Tito Nieves, Frankie Negron. I worked on Frankie Negron's Frankie's first album. I had a track on there called Inolvidable that we co-produced between myself, Edwin Sanchez, and a vocal coach named Luchito Cabarcas. And so then we were all signed to Sergio's production company after that. That's how I ended up relocating to New York. Because when I was doing all that other stuff for Ralph and producing for Jesus Enriquez for Ralph's label and stuff like that, I was still living in Chicago. So Chicago was home base, and but I was always traveling because I worked with a lot of baladistas. I worked with Jose for a few years. Camilo Sesto. I worked as a production manager for Juan Luis Guerra for 2 tours. Carlos Vives.
Wow. So it's not only salsa, you have, other international.
No, in Chicago, you got to do everything. I did a lot of what the Mexicans call charreadas, which are rodeos. And I don't know if you can picture Puerto Rican boy running a rodeo, but that's what I used to do.
Oh, wow.
We used to do these concerts at the rodeos, and I mean, you'd have a rodeo, and they would take a pause in the middle of the rodeo, and you'd have people like Veronica Castro come out and sing.
Oh, they have rodeos huge. Are you kidding?
Grupo Bronco, Los Jonix, Los Bukis, when Marco Antonio Solis was still with Los Bukis.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we did. I did a lot of that. Actually, one of the first Mexican rodeos that they did in the Bronx at the Kingsbridge Armory was produced by a company from Chicago named Cardenas Fernandez and Associates, and I was a production manager on that.
Did you tell us? I don't know if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but in the first episode that we did, you was talking about those rodeo things.
Did I?
And you told me that Mark Anthony was one of the ticket guys.
Oh, at that rodeo at the Kingsbridge Armory, he was one of the ticket guys.
Yeah, that's right.
That's funny.
At the time, he was being managed still by David Maldonado, and David Maldonado was one of the investors in that particular charreada. And it was in the Bronx. I mean, David was all over the Bronx.
Way back when.
So how long you been in Miami now? I mean, from the Bronx to Miami.
Well, I've been in Miami now since 2005, so 19 years.
Oh, wow. So it was the year after I got here.
I've been here the
I got
longest.
2004.
I got here in 2000.
Yeah.
No, sorry. 2000 and 2000. End of 2000.
And I came here, met my ex, had 2 beautiful children. My son graduates now in June from high
Wow,
school.
congratulations. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then my daughter's 14. She is a flutist. She plays flute. She plays first chair with symphonic band at Flanagan High School.
Wonderful.
Nice.
So, you know,
Your son
Proud.
plays too,
He
right?
plays basketball, so
he's playing basketball. He stopped
future
drumming.
NBA star or future college.
I hope some college.
College. That'll be
We'll
a good way to
see.
start.
We're in process now looking at colleges.
Oh, that's good.
That's
But my
good.
son was a drummer, but you know, it just between trying to keep up because basketball takes up a lot of time because he was playing after school. He was playing with the traveling team here in Broward County. He was involved in another sports club, which was all basketball. So it's just between that and school, you know, and then trying to fit drums in, that just something had to give. So, and he has a very good affinity for basketball, so that's the route he decided to go. You know, Daddy
Right.
Daddy did his best to keep his mouth shut and just let him make his own decision.
Exactly. So we as parents have to, you know,
Ah,
if they're enthusiastic with something and that's what they wanna pursue. So you know,
Yeah. And I
we
support
gotta
him
keep
on
them in mind, you know, we gotta help
support him 100% in his efforts in that realm. So, and then we Luis Jibarito has a new single coming out that it's been in the can for a minute. It's finally going to be coming out, and so working on that stuff. So they've been pretty busy actually.
So let's go back. We have a video here, and this is an arrangement made by you. It's from our dear friend Jesus Manuel Martinez, Te Conquistaré Bailando. I know
Oh,
we had
okay.
a lot of fun, you know, arranging that song. So we're gonna play that video para que el público lo pueda disfrutar. Es un arreglo de Mike Rivera, vocalista Jesus Manuel Martínez, y el tema se llama Te Conquistaré Bailando. Nos fuimos, mi gente.
Do we have audio?
Óyeme, mulata rica, vente conmigo a bailar, que lo que te estoy tocando es una guaracha buena y más. En medio del entablado no te podrás controlar, con los pasos que daremos no perderás el compás. Mulata bonita, la más linda eres entre las mujeres que se encuentran aquí. Yo quiero pasar esta noche contigo, complace mi petición y ven a bailar. Ya verás que cuando estemos bailando olvidarás todo menos a mí. Me la pasaré hablándote al oído, cositas románticas solo para ti. Pero que ven, mami, salsa lo que hay.
Where? Okay, there we go. Sorry, I am mute. All right, we're good.
Sabroso.
Está sabroso eso.
Te
That was-
conquistaré bailando. Talk to me about a little bit about that song, Mike.
And our
That
dear friend
song-
Manuel.
That's well, Jesus Manuel is a very good friend of mine, and we had been threatening to do a recording together for years, and we finally got around to doing it. That particular song is a song that he used to perform in Connecticut and in the Northeast area with a band leader named Ray Gonzalez, and so I owe a lot to them for bringing that to me. I always kid around and say that I took their beautiful song and I disarranged it and decomposed it, but
Well,
But,
that-
it
that's
was
what
a fun
usually
project.
happens?
excuse me.
Doesn't that's what usually happens when like somebody comes with some lyrics and they ask you to do an arrangement for them? Doesn't like the melody stays, but doesn't anything could change, wording, anything, right?
Yeah, things change, harmonies change, different horn parts and things change, and the song developed. And we had been playing that song live for a little bit, so before we recorded it. So as we're as we were playing it live, the song was developing and evolving. The arrangement was evolving. So by the time we got to the studio, it was a whole different animal. I had a life of its own.
Looked like everybody had a good time.
No, I remember when they did the video at studio, the writer studio.
And you were gonna go that day, I think.
I was there, and
were?
I decided not to come out on the video. They asked me, and I nicely declined, but everything. Mike was there. I was there. There was a nice setting. There was a lot of energy that day. I mean, making a video is not easy. Most people think that it's just going there and.
No, it's a lot of work and a lot of planning, and and when you're an independent artist, financing is always a big stumbling block. Getting the resources together to even get the video produced, and you still end up spending money, even if you've got friends that really love you and want to help you and contribute. There's always costs that are unforeseen, and it's a lot of work.
Well,
But
anyway, Mike, I'm gonna give a shout out to some of our people that are here that always tune in every week.
Right.
We got my friend Francisco Santos enviándote saludos.
Saludo. He said he said it was nice. He liked the Jesus
Exactly.
Manuel's music.
Thank you.
We got Elizabeth Maldonado. Hola familia.
Hola.
We got el señor Jose Villanueva. He has a show in Puerto Rico. He has
Puerto
another
Rico.
platform like we have, and he's from Puerto Rico.
Hola,
He's a
Jose.
show. So, Jose, ¿cómo está, mi hermano?
Yeah.
We got another percussionist here, Douglas Watson.
José en Puerto Rico, llámame. Tenemos que hablar algo.
Ahí está José.
Ahí está.
Oye, si estás ahí todavía, José, ahorita Mike.
Rey.
Douglas Watson said very nice with the song. Y
Thank you, Douglas.
Rey Santiago, enviándote un saludo.
Yeah, Ray's my
Mike,
boy.
sorry.
We worked together in New York with a couple of different groups, but mainly with George Lamont. When George
Ah.
George Lamont did his
Wow.
first 2 salsa albums with Gungi Rivera's label,
Nice.
That's
Nice.
cool.
and Ray was one of the backup singers in that particular group. Plus, we used to work a lot with Willie Torres, who later on went to sing with Spanish Harlem Orchestra. And
That name sounds familiar to me, Willie Torres.
Willie?
Yes. Willie Torres. Anyway,
Ah.
Mike, somebody has a question for you here. Let me put them up. Francisco Santos, Mike, you now with Orquesta Inmensidad?
I'm working with Orquesta Inmensidad for a couple of years now, actually. I recorded I played bass on their new album, and I did one arrangement for the new album. They just came back from doing some dates in Colombia, which I didn't do the tour in Colombia because it conflicted with my schedule at the college. I couldn't just disappear for a week and a half
You wanted to.
I know with children, right?
to go running around Colombia. Yeah. But yeah, I've been working with Mensidad for a little bit now. Yeah, Raul, the leader, Raul Galimor, and I have a really good chemistry on stage playing. So it's always a blast for me to play with them.
That's good. And I mean, in time, you play locally. You play with a lot of guys, Tito Puente Jr., Marlo. I mean, you're always doing something, you know.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving. Gotta keep treading water. If you stop treading water, you sink. So
I say I stop when the man upstairs tells me to stop.
So how's your finger?
Oh yeah.
my finger
How's your
is
finger?
my finger is doing very well. They took the brace off. They took the thumb brace off, and I can wiggle it. I can play
Oh, good. So yeah, poor Mike had a little accident.
Yeah.
on New Year's Eve. That's how I brought in the New Year.
Eve.
I dropped a speaker on my hand.
And it was fractured, right?
Yeah, I had a hairline fracture, and the thumb was actually sprained in 2 places also.
Ooh. And you have to use your thumb. You don't realize how important this thumb is. Your thumbs are very important. Try to grab something without a thumb. It's very difficult.
No.
It's
And
very
then-
difficult.
Yes. Without your thumb, you can't really.
You can't. Your thumb, without your thumb, that's your main.
So when you're playing, the bass, the thumb is actually what balances, your hand around the instrument so you can move your fingers. And when I'm playing upright bass, the thumb is actually what's holding up the instrument. It's
Oof.
kind of balanced, and it's a big part of, you kind of use it as a guide to move up and down to play the correct notes, because as you know, the upright bass is fretless. So you play by memorizing the positions, and big part of how you find the positions on the bass has to do with your thumb.
Hey, somebody's asking you a question here, Douglas. He's saying, Mike, have you ever heard a piano player called Martin Arroyo?
Yes, in New York City. A very good friend of mine who also passed away, Kurt Upper, was an engineer. He was matter of fact, Kurt was the guy who mixed the first Mark Anthony album. Kurt Upper used to do tons of work at Martin Arroyo's studio, and that's how I met Martin. I had gone to the studio with Kurt to do a mix on a track. So great piano player, great arranger. He was, the brains behind the original Soneros del Barrio with Frankie Vasquez back in the late 80s, early 90s.
El sonero del pueblo.
Yeah.
You see, Douglas is saying a good friend of his
We played with him
Mark.
also in a band
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah, and you said,
Yeah.
and you saw Reyes.
Well, my thing is to play with everybody. I mean, he was a really good piano. No, he was all over.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
He had
it's a small world in the entertainment industry. Everybody kind of knows everybody, even cross states, because since we were all we're from New York, you're from Chicago, so there's a cross between New York, Chicago, Miami.
But now we're here.
And now we're all here. Well, everybody wants to be here, right, Mike?
Why does everybody want to be in
Why
Florida?
does everybody want to be in Miami? In Miami, okay?
Especially Miami.
They come for the weather. They leave because of the property tax. But
And the traffic.
that's-
Don't get on the Palmetto.
don't get on the Golden Glades interchange during rush hour.
I know you'd be late for your haircut, right? If you get in that one.
At 5, don't be anywhere at 5:00. That's for sure.
Talking about haircuts, man. I need a haircut too.
Oh, I know.
We have to announce one of our sponsors, Fernando the Barber.
Fernando the Barber.
Yeah, we always got to give him props. These people always sponsor our show, so like that we can keep on creating more content.
Exactly.
So support us a lot.
Fernando the Barber is no relation to James the Barber, right? That's the
No
connection
this
whatsoever.
This guy does the fresh cuts. He's here.
They're
in
just in the
Deerfield,
barber.
so.
Okay.
I just want to
So,
put
mi
a line.
gente, vamos a
Okay.
presentar one of our sponsors. So, enjoy this commercial from New Era Barbershop. Personal Barber.
right now at just my favorite barber here at New Era Barbershop here on Hillsborough Boulevard, right near Powerline Road. Check it out. Look it up on Google and get your hair cut. Men, women, children, come out. You'll see JC got a nice little hot towel and everything, but I get my hair cut here, so you'll see the nice design and everything, and he does color too, so don't be afraid of the barber, okay? That's the barber.
Well, there you go. That's where I get my
Hey,
hair cut.
5
and
words. You pronounce
I'm
wrong.
no, I'm already there, but I'm gonna save it because I know pretty soon, I'm gonna be gigging. And anyway, I got
You know, new Era's here in Broward. You never hit me to that place before, JC.
Oh my
You're in
God.
Broward, bro.
I've been here. I've been with Fernando for years.
I could be getting the hookup. You holding out on me. What's wrong
There
with
you
you?
go. Now you got the hookup. You can make your appointment with Fernando. You could go into Instagram and look for Fernando the Barber. You
Right.
have your
He's on
appointment there.
Instagram, New Era in
Exactly.
Deerfield Beach, because I
Deerfield.
think there's 2 of
Yeah,
them.
it's a chain or
Yeah,
franchise.
but he owns that location.
Right.
So I want to say shout out to DJ Peter. Hey Peter, it's been a while. I haven't seen you.
Peter,
And
Luis
then there's
Manuel.
Luis Manuel has a long hair. You can
Vaya, saludos al profesor Mike, Chicago Boy, tremendo y buenos recuerdos en la ciudad de los vientos. Ayuda en JC Colón, les deseo mucho éxito para los dos con los podcasts y JC con su música sabrosa. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, gracias.
Siempre, ya tú sabes, un placer always to see you, and when I hang out, which is always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Luis Manuel and I go back to when we were 14 years old playing the
Oh, he has stories.
Oh, you got stories.
Man,
Luis, you gotta come on.
we know each other
What
for a
do you
long,
got-
long time.
What scoop you got on Mike, huh?
He better be silent about anything.
Oh!
Hey, man, I'll bring Luis into the show right now. I'll send you the link. And click it, man. I'll bring you into the show right now.
Get some juicy gossip.
I
Juicy
know.
gossip.
Please let me know if you're available. I'll send you the link right now. Click it. All right, just text it in there. I'll text it to you.
So saying that I was saying it was a small world when it comes to music. We saw Jesus Manuel, which we know him very well. He's a good friend of JC and ours, and he's been
He's always had my back.
instrumental in helping JC form his career as a singer. And you were part of that from the beginning when sort of from the beginning, pretty much.
Yes.
We started with Tito Rivera.
Well, I remember
And
when I used to hang out with Mike because of the musician situation when
Right.
Barito was playing. and
Right,
Torres.
right, that's
So
right.
We were
That's
going
right.
all over town with David Luca, and at that time I played. He still plays with David, but at that time he was playing a lot with David. So I used to hang out in all those parties.
Right.
Yeah, we
And
met.
legends.
We met at a David Luca gig.
There you go.
Where, yeah?
Hollywood Live.
Hollywood.
Oh,
Live.
It was on a Wednesday night at Hollywood Live.
Exactly, and that's when I started, sticking my nose como un presentado everywhere that the guys went. And I said, wait a minute, I like this. I could do this. I don't know why I never did it before, but I like this.
Yeah. Did you play at Legends also?
I
Oh,
played
yeah.
Legends.
Oh yeah.
When I first got to town, I used to have a steady residency at Legends. I used to be at Legends every Friday and Saturday with a quintet.
Oh.
And the conga player and the chorista in that quintet was this guy. I don't know if you ever heard of him. His name is Luis Ibarito.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How can I not know him?
You
Luis
was playing there?
Luis was playing with me.
Yeah.
Wow, and I used to go to Legends. I must have been having a couple of drinks, so I don't remember.
No, this was like 2005,
Oh wow, that's like when you first got here.
early
no.
2006. Yeah, no, it was a long time ago. So, Legends didn't have big bands ever at that time. Everything was like small groups, and I would have a quintet on Fridays, and on Saturdays they would splurge, and I used to take an extra horn player.
Well, you
That
know
was
what? I met Jesus Manuel Martinez before we really got close. In Legends, as a matter of fact. It was on a Tuesday night, and that was packed on a Tuesday night. That was when, you know, the old legends in Harrison Street behind Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
first time I met her too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Was that on a Tuesday night? Was that at one of the award shows or something?
No, it was just a regular show. It was a band and it was a full house.
Okay. The Legends used to sponsor an award show for local musicians, for local Latin musicians. It was once a year, and it was a big event, and it would always be packed, mainly with musicians who came for the award show, and they would present different musicians and arrangers and stuff with recognition for some of the work they had done throughout the year. And Miller and Dewberry used to go all out for the musicians. I mean, it was kind of like a mini banquet. They had a huge spread for all the musicians. They had different prizes. They showed photos and video footage. It was a cool thing. I used to look forward to that every, that it was an annual event.
Wow.
This is before Miami even exploded. Now Miami's like an explosion of everything over here. With music, events, Wynwood wasn't even around back then, remember?
Always around, but it just kind
But
of,
it wasn't like it is
there
now.
were parts of it that kind of felt like a demilitarized zone at the time.
It used to, Wynwood looked like the Bronx back in the 80s. Okay, when there was just like a part of a building left. And remember, it was bad. It looked like a war zone.
It was interesting though, because culturally, Wynwood was kind of like a little nucleus for the Boricua community in Miami.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And even years later, when they were doing the Festival de la Calle, the Sunset Festival, it was down in Wynwood, and sometimes we're running around between Broward and Miami, and we have so many different people from everywhere, Cubans and Colombians and Venezuelans, and we forget that there are many, many, many Boricuas here. And at that time, the scene was kind of central around that area in Wynwood. So it was kind of cool, and there were a lot of local artists that used to exhibit their graphic artwork and sculptures and things like that. It was a cool hang. You had to know your way around.
So what happened to do you know what happened to Miami back then? Because I know I read something like back in the 80s, it was Boricuas, a Puerto Rican community, and I think even the mayor was Puerto Rican.
I don't know I didn't know that.
I read up something about the mayor being Puerto Rican, I think of Wynwood or something, or Miami or something. It was back in the 80s. But I don't know what happened to the community, because it's very...
It just started spreading out. I mean, part of it is economics and of course regentrification. I mean, as we went through the 2000s, you saw the impact of private developers who were coming in and building all these lofts and condos and things like that. And that wasn't for Abuelita and the Boricuas. That was for the new trendy crowd that was coming into the community. I mean, you go to Wynwood now, it doesn't look anything like it looked 19 years ago when I first got here.
Oh,
no.
Not at all.
No. I remember going down there. There was only certain areas you could go.
It's more yuppie now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Rafael is here, Rafael Guerra.
El Olímpico, DJ Olímpico.
I think he said, if I said the mayor's name, I think that's the mayor's name.
Mauricio Ferrer.
That was the
Mauricio
mayor.
Ferrer.
Mira para allá, Rafi,
Sí.
¿sabes? Rafi
He's
estaba
been
aquí,
here. He's a Miami person.
Rafi estaba aquí muchos años, so él sabe, ¿se acuerda?
He said hello, so hey, and then I got somebody else here too.
Saludos, Rafa.
Oh, tenemos a Luis José Llanes. Wow, ese es el compositor de mi nuevo tema, Champán. Vamos a estar hablando de eso más
That's
tardecito.
right. Yeah.
Un saludo, maestro Luis.
I didn't realize that was him. Hola, Luis. So getting back to the music. So we were talking about Small World. So you met Mike. I met Mike before too. Before I even met you, I've seen him play with Marlo all over town. Like I said, all the artists play with, different bands together. And then one day we would talk, JC and I were talking, and I said, JC, you got to do your own thing. I mean, you got to do it. And he decided to do a song.
No, not even that. Before that, even before I got
What?
involved with Mike.
Uh-huh.
Remember, we decided to do the band first because the first director
Right,
that I had was
right.
Tito Rivera. So we put the band together.
Right.
And then there was a time that, you know, as I was developing, I had to hire Mike one day because I needed a bass player. So I think that was the first time that Mike played in my band. It was at the movie studio.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's
Movie
right.
studio.
I remember the movie studio.
And I said, Mike, I need a bass player and a director at the same time. So Mike said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Right.
And that's when we started. And Mike
I forgot
called me
all
after
about
the
that
gig,
gig.
Remember? And I was when you called me after the gig, I was like, hope he's okay. You know, like,
What?
nobody calls me after the gig after they leave.
Ah,
So he was just calling me back to tell me that I did great, that I did good, that if I ever needed his help for anything, that I will, you know, that I can count on him, and that's
Right.
exactly what happened. And
that was in 2020, wasn't that? 20,
yeah, it was before
21.
pandemic.
The
It was-
21?
It was before the.
It had to be before the pandemic. That
Before
was
the
with
pandemic.
Yeah, but the
What
movie
was-
studio was after the pandemic.
Oh, before.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I don't know. I
No, it
think
wasn't.
I
He
think it was
played before. It wasn't a movie studio.
No, honey, look.
Wait,
Hello.
it was something. It was something with the Dining Divas.
Right. So it
'Cause
was
they were
before the
co-hosting the
pandemic.
event.
Yes,
It was 2020.
Well, it might have happened
It
before.
was right after the pandemic.
I think it was 2019. No.
No, it wasn't.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was after the pandemic.
We got to look at dates here because we have so many things in our head that we're forgetting, you know, when was what.
2019, September 2019 was our Miramar Festival. We had nothing to do with the Divas.
2018 was the Seaquarium.
Okay,
2019 was that.
right. It was-
Well, and
so, anyway,
had to be around there.
por ahí, está por ahí, está por
Anyway,
ahí.
to continue the story,
mira,
so we were
so-
ready.
Ajá.
So Mike said, you know, whatever you need, something, and it just happened that something came along with a song. Somebody wrote a song for me, and I said, you know what, I want to do it. I think I've been playing around already locally enough, and I think I should like.
And he's your professor too.
He's my professor.
He is your coach. You're his
Just
singing-
for everybody
singing
can know,
coach.
Mike was the first one to give me voice lessons.
That's
I
right.
had other people give me voice lessons, but he was like more like thorough with it because we were ready to record my first song, so we had to make sure that everything was correct. And I
Exactly.
appreciate it. So, Mike, you want to present the song, Campeón?
Yo quiero ser campeón.
That's it.
That's all you
Featuring
gotta
JC
say. That's all
Colon.
you-
Arrangement, Mike Rivera.
Featuring jolting JC Colon. Okay, you got to put on the boxing gloves for this.
Ah,
Disfruta, mi gente.
Eso quedó ready para imprimir.
Déjame llevar a JC para que venga a chequear esto.
Dale, dale.
Nos fuimos. ¿Qué tú haces por ahí, mi fiel amigo sincero? Repartiendo tu alegría para que suenen los cueros. Solo te quiero decir que voy por un buen camino. No son cosas del destino lo que le pasa a la gente. Se portan indiferentes tratando de llegar, pero yo con humildad tan solo quiero triunfar. Yo quiero ser campeón para llegar a la meta y que vean la gente esa que yo sí puedo llegar. Con tu ayuda y tu lealtad he aprendido una enseñanza. Hay que cantar buena salsa para ser emprendedor. Gracias por los consejos, yo sí te las quiero dar. Muy bien tú lo mencionaste, esto que me iba a pasar. Voy a llegar a la meta
What does it take?
Another good job. Another good job.
Well, if I may say so, for my first recording, ladies and gentlemen, I think
Hey,
it was
it
excellent.
came
I had the
out
right
really good.
person to help me out through this.
That's right. That's right.
We had a lot of
I
fun,
mean,
right, Mike? We had a lot of fun doing this song.
We had a lot of fun, a lot of work too.
Oh,
I
a
mean,
lot of work. It's a lot of work. If
Sometimes,
anybody
sometimes,
could unbelieve
sometimes
how
people,
much work you have to do, right?
yeah,
To
some
put the
people don't realize how much work goes into these things, and you know, the road is, you know, the road is long, and it's and it's complicated. It's not as simple as people think it is. I think to paraphrase a writer named Hunter Thompson, he said the music business is a long plastic tube filled with thieves and pimps, prostitutes,
corruption, of course.
you know, and there's a negative side to it too.
Oh, yeah, on top of that.
Yeah.
You know, people oversimplify things. I get tired of hearing people say, "Oh, well, now with the streaming platforms, it's easier because it's a more level playing field because anybody can get in." But they don't realize a big part of what record labels did was they invested money in promotion and marketing and, you know, in some cases tour support. I remember when Ray Ruiz signed Sony, that first year that Ray Ruiz was touring on the Northeast. I mean, he was known down here and a little bit in Puerto Rico, but up in New York, nobody knew what Ray Ruiz was. So when he went up there to tour, Sony Records actually subsidized a lot of the gigs. You know, they paid, made sure the musicians
Thank you,
got
Ray.
paid. They made sure the promotion was happening. You know, it was when you're an independent artist on your own, guess what? Promotion's on you, marketing is on you, sales is on you. It's a lot of work. It's not for the lighthearted. You know, you got to be a campeón for real, and you have to hay que dar la cara and you know, move forward to move your career forward.
Yeah. And
So
now
until
there's
you,
more stuff you have to do because it's enough that you have to do all the parts of the music, you know, deal with all the musicians, the singer, put
A lot of
everything
stuff.
together,
A lot of
the mixing and mastering, all of that. But then, like you said, now it's more complicated because you have to do the YouTube, all the social media,
all the
the
social media.
graphics, the video, and that takes manpower and time and money and everything else. And
So independent artists are expected to be, you know, the record label.
yeah,
They need to
It's
do
not
all
an
the
easy
work.
road, but if you have the passion to do it, trust me, it doesn't
it takes
matter.
time,
It
but
takes time.
so talking about time, so besides that, we know now you did Jesus Manuel, you did JC's song. You're working right now. We're working on a second song. Finally, yeah.
I think we can say the name. The song is Champan. They're working on it.
Champan,
It should be done soon. It should be done soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a little different from the first one, but it's amazing. It's a good song. I think it's gonna everybody's
No,
gonna
I'm waiting
catch
for you
on
guys
to
to
it.
invite me over to the house so we can bust open a bottle of that
Oh
champagne.
yeah,
we
we
have
have
to. We
to.
have to. You
I
know
told
that.
you, I left you a message. So when you coming over? I'm still waiting.
Hey,
So,
listen, we need to do a little get together before we leave Boca Raton. So I want
Yeah.
to get some people together, and you know, a lot of people I appreciate,
yeah,
and do a nice get together in the pool, some barbecue, some music,
yeah.
and just invite some special friends over. And
Maybe when the sun comes out.
yeah, right.
sun would be
With all the
nice.
rain.
Can you believe that we have to say that in Florida? It's been cloudy and rainy.
Yeah,
It's been gloomy for
I've been
for
looking for the
weeks.
Sunshine State for months now and haven't found it, so I don't know.
Oh. Did you see Nelson's here?
There you go. One of your boys.
Saludo, Nelson.
Te saludo.
And Ray Santiago said he's the swing tune.
Yeah, thank you, Ray, for that. Thank you, Ro. That's what we're trying to do. That's why I got the professor.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to go back because Rafi put it on here that the mayor of Puerto Rico, he served 12 years.
Of
Miami, right, of Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Of Miami. The mayor of Miami that was Puerto Rican served for 12 years. And I just saw, unfortunately, he passed away in 2019.
Talking
But
about passing away.
but talking about passing away, I'm going to say we don't have his photo here, but in our video at Quiero Ser Campeón, there was a friend of ours named Hernan Rada, and he passed away last year in October. So we want to just say, you know, condolences, rest in
thank
peace,
you.
and we'll see his memory
Of course,
dancing.
all the
He's
time.
dancing in our video.
Right. And he helped me put together the beach scenes with
Yeah,
the music.
he
So
did.
I really appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
Good
So
guy, you know.
he
so
was
may
part
rest
of
in
the
peace.
video.
Yes,
Yeah, he was part of the
Will always
video.
be remembered in the video. So
Yeah. That's one thing with music, that even if you pass away and you've been involved with music, your music goes on and on forever. So you never die. So your
So-
music will live on forever.
I don't know if Richard could hear us, but I see he's in, but
He's
I don't,
trying to get
I
in.
don't see the audio. I mean
Video.
the video.
So we'll give it time.
We'll give him some
Yeah,
time to
he
get
texted
in
me
there.
that he was in traffic, so he may be
Ah.
trying to get in through his phone.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, okay.
eventually he'll come out.
At this, look at the time. It's almost 8 o'clock. There's
We're already
traffic
in the
Miami.
hour.
I know. I'm just saying, Miami traffic. It doesn't matter what time it is, what day it is. It doesn't matter. You're gonna hit traffic somewhere.
So you know, before we get into the next artist, because see, Mike has a list.
Oh yeah.
Even the new people that are coming out, new arreglos nuevos.
And like we say, I'm just gonna get my little. Hold on, you can keep talking. Then I'm gonna give
You
you
know,
my.
so
Like we always say, support your local bands.
There we go.
Very
There's-
important.
hey,
Very
talk to
important.
us a little bit about that, Mike, about supporting our bands, right? We have to support the bands. If not, you know, what's gonna happen?
We have to support our local artists all the way across the board. You know, it's very funny that people are willing to make an effort to go out and spend money and stuff on artists that come from the outside. But there are a lot of homegrown artists here that are not just big parts of the Miami scene, but they had an impact on the Latin music scene all over the country and all over the world. Right now, I'm thinking of Carlos Oliva, who's been around Miami. Los Sobrinos, I've been listening to Los Sobrinos del West probably since 1980. I've been listening to them for a long time, and Carlos Oliva and Los Sobrinos were a big part of that original, what they used to call the Miami sound. You know, he influenced people like Willie Chirino. He influenced people like
We got to meet him.
Stefans and Gloria Estefan and Emilio in the Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah.
We were there. We saw him the last time we saw Carlos Oliva
With
was
Willie Chirino.
when they did the wall that they did Willie Chirino's painting on the wall.
Oh,
They
okay.
went to celebrate his, the count.
They did a whole mural of Willie Chirino, and then it was Carlos Oliva.
Entonces, right down the street in Domino Park, they had a
they
big
played.
stage there.
Yeah,
So they were playing
Yeah.
there as well. So we went down the street. It
Yeah.
was a great day.
yeah. I was
He's
like a
still
little
around,
pre-concert.
I don't know how he
pre-concert
does
for
it,
Long
but
Island.
he's still swinging, man.
No, he's still singing his butt off. He did a couple of featurings last year on an album that was produced by Grammy Rave called The Endless Project, which is a Latin tribute to Lionel Richie. And Carlos sounds amazing. His vocals on that track are just awesome. And the many projects that he recorded with Los Sobrinos, Carlos was doing bilingual Latin music and bilingual salsa since the 70s. I mean, that was a big part of Los Sobrinos' appeal since the beginning. So he's a true, Miami,
Spanglish.
pioneer.
Spanglish, baby.
Spanglish.
Spanglish. There you go.
There we go. We should have Carlos Oliva.
Yeah,
Carlos Oliva.
I think you should. I think that would be really interesting. If we ever get a hold of Richard is one of the newer members in Carlos's group, and by newer I mean he's only been playing with Carlos for about 20 years.
Wow, that's the newest guy.
Yeah, well, that band is a lesson in unity and camaraderie, and really working it's been basically the same band for about 25 years now with Carlos.
Wow.
A little more. Charlie Santiago, percussionist, who you know also, he's been with Carlos for 19 years.
Oh yeah, Charlie always say that. That's a joke. See that thing with me and Charlie, how he said, JC, yo toco contigo cuando tú quieras, pero si yo tengo a Carlos Oliva, perdóname, mi hermano. You know, that's something I said, no, that's understandable. But it's you can see the loyalty too, you know.
Yeah, and you know, and it's an amazing band. Now that we're talking about it's an amazing band to see, and Camilo Valencia, que en paz descanse, he passed away recently. Some of the music and the arrangements he wrote for Carlos were just awesome. Very, very pop, very progressive, but always super danceable. Yeah, he passed away. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Carlos Oliva and Los Sobrinos del West, the Judge's Nephews, you should definitely check that out because that is a big part of the Miami scene. If you want to know what the Latin music scene in Miami was about in those days and where that bilingual influence came from, you really got to check out his music.
Wow.
Really cool. And he's still very active.
I'm gonna make an effort to contact Carlos Oliva because that's a great story.
Yeah.
That would be a great story. And mi gente de
But
Cuba,
isn't that the same guy that worked with Richard Bravo that you talked to Camilo? No, it's a different person?
Yeah.
That's the same person?
Guy?
Yeah.
Richard.
Oh, yeah, that's the one, Camilo Valencia.
That's the one you said he recently passed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he made Made in Miami with Richard Bravo.
Right.
And I listened to some of it. It's incredible.
amazing.
We're gonna play it later.
We're gonna play a little bit later.
And
we're trying to see if Richard can. I think
He's-
he's having a little problem.
well, if he's driving, I want him to
Yeah,
be safe.
I want him
I'd
to be
rather
safe, right.
wait, and we'll see what happens. If not, we'll definitely get Richard here another day in case he doesn't jump on. But what we can do is while we see if he connects, we can
We could play that video from
play. Well, I thought we were gonna play one more composition by
Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do that.
for Luis
Luis
Ibarito.
Ibarito. Let's
So
talk
talk
about-
about his latest, his last one that just came out.
Correct. Ya me decidí. Let's talk about that song a little bit. Let's bring Jibarito into the mix.
Ya
We
me
had him on the show
decidí.
already.
Ya me decidí was a composition by a friend of ours, a composer from Chicago named William.
Oh,
William Velázquez también. Okay.
And William, was driving me crazy for months, saying, I got a song for Jibarito, and I think it's the perfect song. But every time we would run into each other, I was either getting on a stage or getting off a stage or going somewhere. It was just never the moment to hear the song until finally we got together. He showed me a song. He said, hey, that would be a cool song. Let's put it together. And that's how that particular song came about.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, we know William,
We
the
know
writer, the
William.
composer. We know him. He's a great guy. He's back in Chicago. He was
Yeah,
back to
we
Windy
chat
City.
here and there. We always
Yeah,
get in
we
touch.
talked to him.
Yeah, I always tease him. I told him that, he missed the cold weather that much that he had to go back to.
I know. I can't do it.
I think he found a good career.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
And I hear now he's dabbling into the salsa himself. So
He's always writing. He's
writing with an old friend of mine named Greg Jimenez. And Greg and I go back to prehistoric times. We go back a long way. And then Greg moved to New York for a while, and I got him the gig with Willie Moreno from Los Hermanos Moreno. So he was singing with them for a while. And then that's when Greg started really refining his composition. So him and William are collaborating on a bunch of new songs right now.
Oh, nice.
Well, I'm anxious to hear what they come up with.
Yeah. Well, let's go
let's
play
hear
Luisito
So, bueno, mi gente,
Jibarito.
aquí lo tienen mi gente. Luis Jibarito, arreglo de Rivera, ya me decidí.
Búscate otra salida. Decidí que no quiero más. Ya me enteré de tu mentirita. Y desde hoy estás con
tienen, ya me decidí, Luis Ibarito, ya tú sabes, los vocales, duro como siempre, ya tú sabes, my boy.
So mismo. I think we got Richard finally in the background. Finally, he made it safely to a place.
Yes.
Because Miami is
Yeah.
crazy.
Candela.
Eso mismo. Déjame traer a
Without
Richard.
any further ado,
Let's bring in Richard.
it's
Hey,
Richard.
Richard.
Little clap your hands
Hello.
for my audience, baby. There we go. Here we go, Richard.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Are you in the car?
He's in the car.
Yes, I am so sorry. I knew about everything. I was with Mike last night. We did a recording session, and he told me about this. And I just finished Juanes rehearsal. We're gonna do a tour, and now I have to pick up my son. So my son's Uber, other than other things. Pero bueno, here I am. Nice to see you guys. Hey, Mike.
Well, that's what happens, see, ladies and gentlemen, when you rehearse with Juanes, you know? They tell you a certain time. There's no times, you know, you
Hey.
come out when you come out, right?
It's an honor that you even took the time to even talk to us after Juanes. I mean, come on.
It's amazing.
Oh, no.
And congratulations on your Grammys. You won 2
Thank
Grammys
you.
this year. You went to Sevilla.
Yes.
We saw you right before Sevilla. We were recording, right? We were
That's
recording
right.
music.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
were hanging out in his house in the studio. And he was going to Sevilla, and he came back with 2 Grammys. So
There you go.
congratulations.
To añadirle to the rest that he has already, plus like 30 certificates, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a surprise, but yes, you know, I played for the band for the Grammy, so I was gonna go anyway. Plus, I also Juanes, we played there. I played for the house band. I played with Juanes. I did a few things, and to top it off, we won two Latin Grammys for best arrangement and best instrumental album as well. Yeah.
So
That
you
was
took the
good for being
Grammys
in
and you took
Miami,
all
right?
the money too.
What was that, Mike?
He took the Grammys and he took all the money too, man.
Ah,
I don't know about that.
I keep telling him I'm willing to travel as his percussion tech, and he never
I'll carry
takes
the
it.
bag. It's okay. Yo sacato la bolsita. Yo lo llevo al avión.
and let me ask you, Mike, was Richard in any of the arrangements that you did earlier? Like, I know he was in Campeón. He did my percussion for Campeón. What about for Jesus Manuel? Was he on that, on percussion? Or for
No,
Lucy?
on percussion on that particular Jesus Manuel song, that is Douglas Guevara, que en paz descanse. He was the percussionist from Grupo Nietzsche, and he and Richard and I have been friends for many years. I mean, Richard and I have been involved in some kind of recording one way or another for probably the last 20 years, 25 years.
At least, yes.
Tan joven. We're all
Hey,
young.
Richard, do you have a light on top of the car right there you can turn on?
Actually, it is, but you know what?
Vaya, there you go. Now, yeah, there you
We'll
go.
make sure we make a note to the Tesla company, see if they can put more lighting in this car.
Oh no.
Tesla. Oh my God.
Let's
electric
not go
cars.
there.
So listen, we were talking about Richard was also involved. But Mike was saying it before with Carlos Oliva. Tell us a little bit
Oh,
about
yeah.
your experience with Carlos Oliva, Richard.
Well, he's been part of my life for over 33 years. 33 years. And that's how I met Camilo. And that's how I met. Actually, Camilo es que me puso el ojo for studio recording and for all that stuff. And he's the one that que me dio limazo y que me encaminó. And after that, you know, me recomendó con otros productores, and that's the ball just kept on rolling. And about 20 some years ago, out of that ball rolling, I met somebody from New York via Chicago, and we did a lot of sessions for Sergio George. I'm talking about the Mr. Professor over there, and oh my God, I really hit it off with Mike, and it actually freaked me out because he was the person that organized all the recording sessions and studio musicians and everything, and he would call me from New York. And then one time I can't remember what session it was, if it was Huey or El Colombiano este, que I forgot his name. Anyway, yo varias veces iba a buscar a Mike to the airport, and I remember taking Ruben Rodriguez también, some of the guys from New York, but we used to do sessions, and I was happy that he moved, from New York, right? Mike, you came from New York to Miami.
Yeah.
Y man, we've been working ever since. And as a matter of fact, la persona que él mencionó is a dear friend of mine, Douglas Guevara. And I have to tell you, la campana de timbal that in my studio, that all the sessions that I've done in your record and all the stuff I've done, that's Douglas campana de timbal that they do. Él le hacía una cosa, lo resoldaba. It's an LP, Uptown Cowboy de timbal. Pero Douglas gave it to me when we used to do sessions together, y él me dijo, this is a true story, Richard, guárdame la campana, y después when I come back, me la da. Obviously he passed away, y me quedé con la campana. So all those recordings is Douglas timbal bell,
Right.
which is,
And I got to see,
Mike knows the story about that.
I got goosebumps already. Ya
Mike
está
knows
por
the story
ahí.
about that, and no, I've been blessed. We were recording last night, and oh man, it's just a joy, and it just turns out to be, if I'm a winning Grammy artist, I'm also Mike Rivera's bass tech. Bass tech as well. That's a new job.
Cowbell, you were saying
That's
that
a
story
new.
Yeah.
Well, Mike can tell you about what happened yesterday.
Oh wow.
¿Qué pasó?
Tell them,
Like,
Mike.
you had another one. What do they call that? When it's like
No, actually, it was something. Mike was a bit busy, so he come to the studio, but he forgot the bass, and
my God.
and my son plays drums, guitar, and bass, and he has a Marcus Miller's bass, and I said, Mike, I got this bass, and Mike knows the whole history about the bass, and it turned out to be a really great bass. Tell him, Mike. Tell him.
Well, for one thing, this is the Marcus Miller jazz bass. It was developed by a company from North Korea. From South Korea, called Sire. And the bass is an imitation of the famous Fender jazz bass that Marcus Miller has been playing since the 70s. But it is a really, really good copy. And I've been wanting to try one out like forever. And this particular company, their whole thing was they wanted to develop this bass with all the bells and whistles, but they wanted to keep it at a very commercial price, so that even young students could afford to get this, a quality instrument to start out on. So that was the whole concept. And after they developed it, they called up Marcus Miller and said, "Hey, we built this bass around you. Come check it out." And so now Marcus actually endorses the bass.
Wow.
And so here we are at that session last night, which I thought was just going to be a percussion overdub session since I didn't have a bass. And it says, "Hey, I have a bass." And he takes it out. The Marcus Miller bass.
When we were recording our song, I think he almost forgot his bass too. Then.
No, but I'm saying, Mike's face stood up, right? Your face went, what? You have what face, right?
Yeah, what?
That's how it
I've
was.
been dying
Man.
to try that one.
So how was it for you, though?
It sounded wonderful. He's all, como dice, no es la flecha, es el indio, pero tenía una buena flecha.
Exactly.
So so that was
cool.
So it's really great sounding instrument.
Yeah.
I remember the story about the
That
bell.
particular-
That I remember.
Yeah.
That particular tune, Rich and I recorded together live. So it wasn't like, we were overdubbing each other. Richard played live percussion to my live bass as we were laying the track down, which is something I don't know why we started doing that lately, but it's a lot of fun.
Because it's fun and we feed off each other, man. It's really great to have you
Yeah.
while I
No,
record.
it's great. I mean, for the second time that I've been to your studio for the second song recording, I mean, I had a great time. You feel a lot of good energy in your studio. And you guys are awesome together. You know, I mean, you don't waste a lot of time. That's that's the main thing. You guys get your
Well,
message done. Boom, boom. Entienden lo que tienen que
Yeah.
hablarse. Sometimes I hear you guys exchanging words, and I'm like, okay, whatever they say, yeah. That's it. And
You know,
the
now
result
that
is
I
always
think about it,
excellent.
when we cut the rhythm track for Champagne, we recorded it live.
Yes.
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep. And we both.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
It's I tell Mike, are you bringing your bass? It's so for me, it's so cool to have him and record. You know, I really like to record with other people. You know, because of technology, and I understand what the things how things are now. That you gotta dub, but I miss recording live, and if I get a chance to do it, you know, I'm gonna bother you, Mike, and because that's the way I love to record.
So when you're talking about recording live, you're talking about like they used to do back in the studio when the whole band was there.
Well, for this point, yo me conformo con tener Mike, but yes,
Like
yes.
what we did it before. We were in his studio, right?
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
That's how we did it.
Yeah. No,
But
it was great.
in the case right now, I'm recording. I can't say the artist, but
Okay.
he's really famous, and he's doing a recording with 50-piece band, and we're recording everybody live, no overdubs, even
Nice.
himself,
Nice.
and the background, everybody's live, and it's fun. It's fun.
Wow, I can imagine. Well, you know, Richard, we got something here. We were talking about Camilo Valencia a little while ago. So we have a little something here that's called Made in Miami, featuring Milton Saxel. So I'm gonna bring you back a little bit, and I
No,
want.
that's a new one, isn't it?
That's the new one,
That's
right?
the new one, right? That's the one you won the Grammy on, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's the one he won
we're
the
gonna check
Grammy
it
on.
out. So this is hot one. This is fresh.
It's fresh. That's caliente from just a couple of months ago when they did the Grammys in November, right?
Yes.
That's what we were
November
telling you.
20
Remember, we were
something.
at his studio,
I know,
and he was
we were
rushing
coming
out.
out.
He
Exactly.
was leaving like in 2 days or something.
And I didn't have
you
my
know.
passport. If I would have had my passport, I would have been his roadie. I went to
We'll
Sevilla.
have the passport for the next one.
So anyway, we're gonna present this video, Made in Miami, una producción de Camilo Valencia and Richard Bravo. So mi gente, disfruten aquí live from the Spanglish Cafe Show. Nos fuimos.
Dale.
We were all muted. They were all unmuted
Yeah,
now.
we shorten the video a little bit because sometimes Big Brother likes to thank us a little bit and send us the community standards stuff like that. But we always whoever wants to see our show, the replay, you can go to YouTube. You can find us on YouTube for all our episodes. And when you go to YouTube and you see the replay, we won't get interrupted. The music won't get cut off.
Right.
So, but the ones on Facebook, yeah, Facebook, Big Brother likes to, it's not your music, so they don't let you play the whole thing. That's how they are.
Slamming.
On the Nuestro magazine, we're going to be changing it up. If you go to Nuestro magazine on YouTube, you'll see a tab that says podcasts, and right there you'll see all our episodes are all right there.
All 25.
All 20, yes.
All 24. Really.
Oh yeah, we got so many more to come and so many artists. We might have to do this more than once a week or something because.
Well, it's okay. I don't want to run out of artists, so.
We'll never run out of artists.
We never run out, right?
Well, it's not just it's not just like we say artists, but see, we like to bring people, not just the headliner, singer, the person that's in the front. We bring the musicians because they're the heart of the band. Without the musician behind the singer, there's nothing. They got nothing. They have nothing. They got a microphone and that's it.
And pretty soon, we're gonna start bringing DJs into Spanglish and talk about their careers and why do they feel like playing all these new songs. We got DJs out there that are playing all the new salsa songs. All the new salseros, they're dedicating themselves to just play the new salsa. There's other DJs that play the old school and the new school and they mix it up. So we'll be bringing, more people like that, so they can explain their side of the business.
So so Richard, how did this Made in Miami? How did that come about?
It started actually. The actually recording was the last couple of years, but this is like 20 years in the making. And it started with my I used to call him my big brother Camilo. 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, he got his first heart transplant. He actually had 3 heart transplants. 3. So I told him for him, he spent a lot of time in the hospital. So, at the first hospital was in Jackson. So at that time, I played with Carlos Oliva, but I would go out at that time. What was I playing with? I think with Ricky Martin on tour. And I used to bother Camilo. I used to call him almost every day. And he would be like, man, I'm here in bed. So I told him, man, you should, I got all these ideas. Let's do, what? You should write some music and write charts. Actually, that's what he did. So the first song on the record is called CCU. CCU is a cardiovascular unit in the hospital. So that's what he did the whole time while he was in the hospital. Most of the songs he wrote while in bed. Wow. So that's how this project started. That's how Made in Miami started.
Well, may he rest in peace. And
I hope there's a lot of people out there that appreciate this production, and know the story of Camilo. Yeah,
and the funny thing when they see the titles of the record is One Heart at a Time, CCU, Hurricane Jimenez. Hurricane Jimenez was he had an amazing doctor that saved his life. And he was he would come in the room, he was like a hurricane. So he called us all Hurricane Jimenez. And so, the people are going to go, man, who did this record? A doctor or something? But that's why all those titles are about all that kind of stuff.
What kind of medicine they were giving him? He was right left and right.
Oh, man. Medicine. You know what? He had like 20 years plus of overtime, with the 3 heart transplant. So
that's incredible that I even went through that.
Yeah, I know, and Mike knows him well. Nobody would think of anything like that. He was the most outgoing person, and he was a saxophone player on top of that,
Right.
And he was really outgoing. I miss him every day. I used to call him every day, pero bueno, I know he's up there laughing at
He's
me.
chilling up there, enjoying
Oh,
everything
yeah.
you're producing.
Yeah,
He's
and the
enjoying.
music lives on.
He's enjoying. He's enjoying this. All the blessings that we had in the past year. The past year.
Right, right. So he didn't even knew about the Grammy, right? Or he didn't make it for the
No.
Grammy?
Man, he was a month, like a few weeks. He passed it before the nomination.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was
You know, the
He
cool
knows
thing,
already. He knows.
you know, when I went to the Grammys, his brother went, his son and his sisters, and his whole family went. So that was
Wow.
super cool. So if you see, that's a video of when me and receiving the Grammy. What happened was, you know, when you're a nominee, you have to sit by the stage, and the whole Camilo family was way in the back. So, and I decided, and I just, what if we don't win? You know what? I don't care. So I sit with the Camilo's family way in the back.
That's
So,
awesome.
Oh,
so when you see me before I got to the podium, it was, I don't know, over like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It was a long walk because we won. I was sitting way in the back of the theater, and I told them, if you guys don't come with me, I'm going up there. So, you know, Camilo's brother, Camilo's son,
Oh,
oh, that's awesome.
and one of our executive producer, Alexino, he went up there. So I grabbed everybody. Everybody's going up there. So
that's
yeah,
cool, man.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome. That's why I always say the music lives on.
That's gonna be an awesome
Even though a
memory
person
for his
passed.
family.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. And a
Yeah.
funny one, I went blank when I said, like, I went blank, and then Rafael, Camilo's brother, he started talking. I went blank. I went totally blank. And
Wow.
then, you know, Alexino, our executive producer, he like rubbed on me. He said, okay, you gotta say something. And then I started talking. And then I started talking, and then I don't know what I said. And then the house band that was playing there for the nomination thing, it was Dave Cabrera, which is Ricky Martin's musical director and a friend of mine. So, and the band, they started applauding and going nuts. Oh, Richie, God! And I'm like, holy cow! It's in the video. It's kind of cool, actually.
It's kind of like it's a little nerve wracking too at the same time, you know, like
No,
it's a,
no,
it's a,
not
it's a different
never,
thing.
not
You've been in so
never.
many
Never.
stages, no?
Nah, not at all, not at all.
All right.
It's just I went blank. I didn't know. I didn't wrote anything. You know, you say the artists they write some. I don't know if I'm gonna win. So why should I?
Well, you wasn't expecting it. You wasn't expecting it, so
Yeah.
Well,
And then
you know,
it was
everything.
emotional because of he
No,
wasn't there. You know,
everything.
Rachel
Yeah, I was
wasn't
thinking of Camilo, and I'm like, and everything, and I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared.
there.
so Mike,
But
are you prepared? Are you prepared to go on podium and accept the Grammy?
I don't know if they
Speech
want to.
ready?
I don't know if they want to let me loose on the podium. I might have too many things to say.
Oh no, they have to do the old school. You know, remember the old umbrella that would take you on the vaudeville. Remember
The
the
hook.
shows? I'm
The
talking
show, remember the show, the
Remember
Gong
the
Show.
sombrilla,
The Gong
sombrilla
Show.
gancho, te hacían así, te sacaban la tarima.
So anyway, mi gente, for all you people out there that don't know, okay, Richard doesn't only do salsa and Juanes and all these things. He does productions for Barry Gibb. Talk a little bit about that. That's the only Bee Gees. Anybody know who the Bee Gees are?
That's the only one that's left.
The only one that's alive, Barry Gibb. Okay, so we have Richard has the pleasure of going on tour. Been on tour with Mr. Barry Gibb. What is
yes.
that kind of experience like? The American market,
Oh my God.
big
Oh,
concerts, man.
yeah, but well, Barry's something else. He's one of the nicest artist person I ever met in my life. He's such a wonderful man. And how I get that gig? We started doing 19 or 20 years ago. We did the demos for the Barbara Streisand, and what happened was his engineer, John Merchant, a good friend of ours, he's the one that connected. He told Barry, "Man, I got this bunch of guys, and they're studio musicians, and it should be cool to have new blood to do, work on Barbara stuff." So we did the demos, and we ended up doing the album. And then Barry, during the sessions, we're like eating, we're on a lunch break, and he goes, "Guys, wouldn't it be wonderful if you guys play with me? You guys want to play with me?" Like he really said
Oh
it
my
like
God.
out of the blue, and we were looking at each other. What? Absolutely. So ever since we've been playing with him, we've been playing what? I don't know, 17, 18 years with Barry.
Oh
And
wow.
we've done a U.S. tour, uh, uh, all over Australia, England. We've been all over the
Wow.
and I've done, let me see, 2 or 3 records with Barry.
Did you meet all the brothers?
Well,
Only Robin. We got to play Robin, and he was really cool. And we also play with Olivia Newton-John. We backed her.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Yeah, because she
And,
passed away too.
She
Yes,
passed away.
and man, that's a killer gig. I mean,
Oh, I can imagine.
music. I mean, everything. He treats us amazing. He flies us business class, like the whole shebang. And he's a wonderful person to be with.
I gotta get my passport. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we're getting ours. We're going to Colombia at some point.
I would love to go to Colombia.
I want to go to South America. I've
It's in
never
the,
been to
it's in
South
the
America.
bucket list. It's in the bucket list.
There's a lot of salsa in Colombia. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, lots
Sure.
of salsa. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Well, you haven't traveled out of the Europe, or you haven't even traveled out of the United
I haven't
States
even. I haven't.
He hasn't
even
traveled.
tra-
He's a
I only.
newbie.
I only traveled to Jamaica.
to the islands.
The islands.
That's it.
But never
That's
been
nice.
to Europe. Never been to
Ocho
South America.
Rios. I've been to Kingston and Ocho Rios. I play there.
I haven't been to Jamaica,
I've been to Ocho Rios. That's the only like
but
that.
I've been to Spain and Portugal and different.
Yeah, Alita's been. Alita's been.
You know, speaking of Jamaica, I recorded with all the Marley's
Oh, you
son.
did?
All
There
of
you
them.
go, mi gente.
The only person I with Bob, he passed away, a long time. But all his sons, I recorded.
Oh, that's
Now
awesome.
they're coming out with a movie.
They just came out with a movie about Bob Marley.
I heard.
I
I
haven't
think
seen it yet, but
Siggy produced. I think, I'm not sure.
okay. Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
some of his sons perform. They've been at Sunfest and some other events down here in South Florida. They're always playing.
No, the last
Oh.
time we went was up in the last one we went wasn't it over there in the fairgrounds? It was a big Jamaican party.
I
Remember they
don't
had a
remember.
big huge stage. I think
I don't
Iggy or Ziggy
Iggy or Ziggy, somebody.
something
Something like that.
What's her name?
Oh no. But so you're working on a lot of projects, some secret projects out there with some big time people, and Mike's still doing music too. So
Oh,
and
Mike is
playing
not gonna start. Are you
music
kidding
and-
me? He's just starting.
he's just starting. He's a young one. He's younger than us, so you're the spring chicken.
Exactly.
Boy, I wish that was true.
You're only as old as you feel.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I refuse to get old. Okay.
Well,
I
after a
refuse
long
to get
day,
old.
after a long day like today, around this time, I'm feeling.
Well, Richard went out for a minute. I guess it's the signal,
I know, but I appreciate him coming in. If
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't come back in, I do appreciate him. And
he's like on location.
he was in the car. And he
He's
was.
on
I don't know if he was in if he was close to his house or not. I'm not sure. But
No, he
he's
literally
very
just
busy.
got
He
out.
was on his way to
Literally
pick up
just
his
got out of
Oh,
the.
that's right. He was gonna pick up his son.
Yeah.
So, so I appreciate him taking the time out. I mean, it's an honor to have somebody, a musician like that, who just won 2 Grammys, just rehearsed with Juanes, played with all these other big time people,
and had the time
and
to
have the
come
time
to
to even come and talk to us. So we really appreciate Richard, and he's doing he did the percussion on your CD, first one,
He did the first one. He
And he's gonna
did
do
the
the
second
second
one,
one?
and he's gonna do the third.
and he's gonna do the third one.
So
Yeah.
that's already escrito. That's
Number
already
2 is
done.
in the works with JC, and number 3.
Well, he already did his part on number 2. So
Yeah, there you are.
we're waiting on the rest.
I figured you were
Sorry.
gonna pick up your son, so I said,
No,
we're
no,
saying
no, no.
thank you.
No, it cut. I don't know why everything just cut. Sorry about that.
And just for all those artists out there, those new salsa artists, look right below the screen right there. To be on our show, you can email us at SpanglishCafeMusicPodcast@gmail.com or hit me up on WhatsApp at 561-929-5243. Ya tú sabes, mi gente, salseros nuevos, aquí estamos para
Exactly.
presentar tu música. Ya tú sabes, I will say that every week.
Yes, definitely. We want to promote and help all the artists out there, not just the headliners, but the musicians. I've always known that it's not an easy job. It's just like a painter, it's the same thing. It's like everybody appreciates your art. They see your art, but they really don't appreciate what goes into doing it.
Well,
And
people don't imagine, like Mike said at the beginning, people do not imagine, unless you're a musician, you cannot imagine what musicians go through. It's not easy.
No, and the performance, like if most people have been to major concerts out there, and they have these big events like down at the Hard Rock Stadium or anywhere, and those performers have to, the main headline artist has to learn how to sing the songs, and they have to dance on top of it. Some of them dance and choreography, besides all the coordination with the music, and I don't know how many musicians you have to play. And I know firsthand how difficult it is to get 10 musicians in a room, okay? At the same time for a rehearsal.
Anything can
Okay?
happen at
What are
any
you trying to
moment.
say, Alida? What
Huh?
are you trying to say?
Somebody's always late.
What you trying to say?
What you insinuating?
I told JC next time we're gonna start charging $5 a minute for whoever's late. Or they're gonna pay for the
Oh.
segment.
If I
Ow.
got 5 musicians that are late at $5 a piece,
They
that's
pay for
first
the
time
hour.
of the rehearsal.
Exactly.
And then maybe they won't do it again.
Because we always have to pay for an extra hour for somehow or another.
Well, can I,
No,
on that
that was
note, can I mention something that I played with Carlos Oliva all these years?
Oh,
He
yes.
took this is a true story. Well, you had 30 minutes. What was it? I can't remember if it was 50 minutes. If you were late, you get a penalty. You get fined. But this is the cool part. Whoever was late after 15 minutes, it was $50 fine. But check this out: the $50 was split in between the rest of the band that was there on time.
Oh.
So if like sometimes 3 persons were late or 4 persons, and then you would he would write in the check plus such and such a be late, Richard or Charlie or Jackson or Camilo, and he would write like, and man, that 1 year I figured out how much money they took me off for being late. It was over $1,000, man.
Wow.
I can imagine. No,
And he
you gotta
told-
do that, you gotta
And
put some
Carlos
discipline.
Oliva. So, but the thing is, Carlos Oliva didn't get the cut. He was split in between the band.
Okay.
That's the difference right there.
That's a cool thing. Yeah.
Cool thing to do. I mean, I'll keep that in mind.
So we
No,
brought
but the
you
thing
a
is,
couple-
everybody in sound check might check this out. Everybody's sound check, like with a watch and okay. Oh man, I got a little extra money on my check, and
Well,
and
you
then
see that-
if they were like really, cutthroat. Man, you're 17 minutes late, 2 by 2. Up, that's it. You gotta pay your fine. It was like that. It was like that.
Did they stop getting late, or everybody just kept coming late anyway?
No, everybody was pretty much on time. Pero and then Carlos Oliva felt bad, then he took that. He took it off. He took it off.
I don't know.
Speaking of Carlos Oliva, you should invite him. He's got so many
I would
stories.
love to be.
I would
love
like to
him
get
be
his
on the
contact
show.
so we can set up. Right now, I'm booked to I would say February. I gotta start booking people for March now. For the month of
Man,
March,
he's
so
got so much cool stories.
Oh,
From-
I would like
You know,
to see,
He's got stories from Vegas, Las Vegas. He played with a huge artist, and he also played in New York with like the top people of New York. I'm talking about like the mid and late '60s. He's got some stories,
Probably met
and
my
like
father.
heavy duty people. Like he's got some really cool stories. Really cool
well,
stories.
we're gonna get him here either through Mike, through you. We're gonna get it together and make it happen.
Yeah, we saw Charlie Santiago was on the
Oh
video
yeah, so
too.
Charlie
We know
Santiago on the video. Charlie Santiago. I saw Dante Vargas.
Oh yeah. Everybody's there. Julio Diaz, George Subal, Senior, Junior. Está Sazón and Barry Sax. My son is playing percussion.
Oh yeah.
Jackson King is there. Milton Salcedo, and Fafa. That's Camilo's nephew on bass. He did the most of the recording. He's with Pitbull now. He plays bass with Pitbull.
Nice. So
And
look, the
let me
puppy
see.
woke up, bro. These are our new addition to the family. Okay,
They're 2 months
Ah,
old.
the two, no, almost 3 months old.
Almost,
It's
no,
almost 10
12.
weeks. Uh-oh.
oh wow,
Yeah.
Mike, you
Almost 3
Mike,
months.
you like dogs, right?
Oh,
I do.
I
Forget
love
about it.
animals.
Uh-huh.
These are the little ones. We have 4 dogs. We have like 5 dogs now. Jesus.
Oh man,
That's
I
why
got
we're
one.
moving to a house with a lot of land.
I want a
That
house
is-
with land so like that we can build a corral for them.
And everything's too expensive now, so I want to have little chickens laying eggs, so I don't want to pay $8 for a dozen eggs anymore.
Where do you buy your
From the campo, and I'm going back
What?
to the
I
campo.
went to Publix the other day. There was a dozen eggs for $8.
Are you kidding me?
The brand name, like something was like.
EB.
I'm like, what?
Gotta go to
No,
Walmart.
no, too expensive
Go
to
to
eat
Walmart.
now.
Rita
Man,
always finds good places to shop, and she's a good shopper. So saves a lot of money shopping. So good.
I still spend too much money.
Anyway, guys, I gotta bow out because I just
I
got
know
home.
you're tired. You just got home. You gotta eat before you
And I
pass out
gotta,
on
and I
me.
also want to visit my children before they fall asleep.
Okay. Well, I appreciate both of you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Richard,
No,
for taking the time.
thank you again for having me back.
Yeah, we love the conversations and people learn about you and everything. So we really appreciate
Ray
it.
Santiago said, "I need another gig. I need more gigs just to take care of the dog."
All right.
I will not mind.
That's true. You do need more gigs.
They are my
They
little
eat a
alarm
lot.
clock. Yeah, they eat pretty good. They eat healthy, and we don't give them crappy food. We do cook for our dogs. Imagínate, but we even cook for a dog. That's how much we love them.
Yep. All right,
right, so-
guys. Take care.
So
Thank
Mike,
you very
take care.
much.
Richard, thank
Yeah,
you.
Richard.
We'll talk
pleasure,
later.
pleasure, Mike. Take care, guys. See you next time.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Well, that was an awesome show. Man, we have the talent. Everybody, I don't know if you realize, but I mean, these people here, you might see them in the street like, oh, they're just regular people, but these people have such talent, both of them. And Mike has worked with incredible people. Richard's worked with and continues to work with all these people. I mean, I'm still like, I got goosebumps that he played with Barry Gibb.
Barry Gibb, the
I'm
Bee Gees.
sorry, the Bee Gees. I grew up with the Bee Gees, and Saturday Night Fever, Bee Gees. Everybody should know that. Okay, I love my Bee Gees. They're amazing. Their story's amazing. And talking about other types of music. You're gonna do the high note. I can't do it, so.
Can't do that.
So, and we love our freestyle music too. So, there's a lot of events in South Florida, so check it out.
Right.
We're gonna be going to an event this weekend
This Saturday, we're gonna go check out a freestyle show at the Parker House.
at the Parker House. We're gonna see our friend,
My friend Charlie Rock will be the host.
exactly. Our friend Giggles is performing. Susan from Company B, our
Got
friend
the
of
flyer available?
and I have a flyer
Do we have a
available.
flyer? Let's show the people what we
Let's
got
see
here.
what we got.
At the end of the show, we're gonna announce this.
I want to say here, Ray Santiago said, Mike has been a very big inspiration in my career in the salsa industry.
Oh my
Bravo,
God, yes.
bravo, hey. Well, he's been a very, very big instrument for JC as well. He's helped him so much, including Jesus Manuel, where I always say he's a good friend. He's been a good mentor to him and the music. And there's been a lot of great people out there, and some not so great, but it's okay. It's
Hey,
all good.
It's all good. It's all good. So anyway, next week, we're gonna have 2 great artists.
All right, before we, so I'm looking for the banners. I'm looking. Oh, here they are. I got one
Right
here.
there.
So here's a flyer for
For next week.
next week.
Los artistas invitados de la próxima semana, enero 31, January 31st, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Episodio número 25, con nada más y nada menos que Waldo Iván Colón y José Novoa. 2 cantantes más que tienen una trayectoria y también están produciendo su propia salsa nueva. So ya tú sabes que siempre estamos apoyando a los artistas nuevos. So ya la
Eso
semana
mismo.
que viene, no se olviden de dar cita aquí at the Spanglish Café Show para disfrutar un ratito con José Novoa y Waldo Iván Colón
Right.
presentando sus temas nuevos. Ya tú sabes, aquí siempre Spanish Café trayendo siempre lo nuevo.
Y el sábado estamos en vivo un poquito. Vamos a estar en vivo de Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale, supporting our fellow friends and freestyle artists out there. Like I said, Susan from Company B will be there. Giggles, our good friend Giggles. Charlie Rock is hosting, and Angel. And Angel will be singing from the Cover Girls. No, I do not, because before, that's not the flyer. That's the other. That's the other one. But here's this one. There you go. So let me just get this one. Here's the image of the one. I love the 80s. So everybody loves the 80s.
Look at all those.
So it's going to be great. Just go to the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale. And since we're talking about freestyle, I might as well mention about the other event. Charlie Rodriguez event is on March 23rd. And that will be, I'm going to move this way so you can see me. Hey. So right over here. Wait. There you go. Wait. My fingers the wrong way. I'm trying to do it from the screen.
You're supposed to do what? You're supposed to go like that, you see?
Oh, there we go. Okay. You know, when you're on the screen, it's like opposite.
It's like
Anyway, March 23rd. March 23rd, it's JC's birthday. So we're going to be partying on the 23rd with Charlie Rodriguez and all our friends that are coming for freestyle. We got some different artists there. We got Cynthia, of course, Dream Girl.
Coro.
We got C-Bank is going to be there. Brenda K. Star. It's going to be a whole bunch of people. Boosh.
All right. Boosh.
Oh, it's going to be so good. So anyway, so just check that out. And then again, like this weekend, it's this Saturday. I Gotta Love the 80s. We'll be covering the events and speaking to our favorite artists. It's going to be amazing. Oh, there's Maggie. Hey, Maggie.
Familia, you got to call us. We were supposed to call each other, but I will check you out after the show.
We'll call you after the show, Maggie.
Y tengo mucha gente aquí que no están apareciendo en the other feed, but I got Lisa Siegel, I got Sammy Gali, tremendo, el pequeño gigante
Lulu
del
was
piano,
on.
digo yo. My friend Luke Cameron was on. Grupo Mambo Swing, Iris Lavelle. Gracias a todos. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Gracias de verdad, se lo aprecio mucho y otra vez.
Please follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, Spanglish Cafe. Look us up. You'll find us on there. We're on YouTube. We'll let you know when if we change anything on our YouTube link that we're gonna do.
So it's gonna be easier for you guys to locate the show.
Right.
Instead of
But anyway, you can still like Nuestro magazine, okay? I still got that going on.
Exactly.
And I got a lot of other things cooking. You'll see my shows on Tuesdays, Rebooted Mindset, a lot of changes coming up, and a lot of great interviews.
Y para aquella gente que estén interesado en contratar la orquesta Salsa en Control, les puedo poner la información. For any contracts for the Salsa en Control Band, ahí está, me pueden llamar al 954-529-7605, pregunten por Alida, and she'll be more than happy, send you a contract, talk the terms over, and I can be at your next party.
Exactly.
The next salsa party. So ya tú sabes, mi gente, orquesta Salsa en Control, llamen al 954-592-7605.
Me llaman a mí, me mandan un WhatsApp, un Telegram, lo que sea, me va a ver en el teléfono, me manda un mensaje y hablo contigo porque diga la fecha de tu fiesta y qué necesita.
Y vamos a anunciar el próximo guiso, el próximo show de Salsa en Control va a ser en febrero.
16,
Estén pendientes,
17.
febrero 17, estén pendientes.
Look out for the flyer. It's going to be my birthday and my mom's birthday. So I'm having a birthday party. JC will be performing with Salsa en Control in February at one of my favorite restaurants. And my
Honey, it
mother's...
will be the second time that I play live in your birthday.
I know. See?
Cool.
I don't have to pay for my own band. I get a band for my birthday. Isn't that great? So, and it's my mother's 86th birthday, so that's a big celebration. And it's my last year in the 50s. I'm going to be 59, and I'm proud of it. But I'm celebrating my last one in the 50s, so you better come. So you'll stay tuned to see where we're going to be. So I think we covered everything today. I think we're pretty good. We've been on here for 2-3 hours. How long?
Almost 2 hours. So
2 hours.
we're getting on the 12
Oh,
mark.
vamos.
Luis Estoto Grande, un abrazo, saludo. Y ya tú sabes, no se olviden la semana que viene. Waldo Iván Colón y Reino Boa, papá. Salsero de la Mata. Eso ya tú sabes. Próximo miércoles aquí a las 7 p.m. Eso ya tú sabes. Con esto nos despedimos y
Hasta la próxima.
nos fuimos. Bye.